This video we're going to do on assets, which is a pretty important subject because you need money to buy the house.
Yeah, I think it's the second most important factor because first is if you don't have the qualifying credit, you don't even get into the game. But the second is if you don't have money for your down payment and your closing costs, you're not going to be able to buy the house anyway. Again, even if you make a lot of money, you still have to have money to close because if you don't have the 3.5% or whatever it is, it's not going to work out. So Neil, talk to them, explain to people what we mean by money in an account.
Well, like your savings account, a checking account. You get direct deposit. Well, what stays in there and what doesn't go out for bills. I always tell people, if you're buying this with somebody else and their credit's bad and we're not putting their name on it, why don't you use their money to pay the bills and take your checks, your direct deposit, and save it up every month?
Now, why is it important for it to be in an account?
Well, because we need to season it. We need to show that you have money in the bank. You can't just take it from your mattress and bring it to settlement. That's a no-no. That scares everybody. Because of 9/11, they're afraid of terrorists. So you can't ever have money in a mattress.
And they also, it has to be money that, let's just say, because there's a lot of people that try to avoid paying taxes. Nobody likes paying taxes. But the problem is if you don't pay taxes on that money, you can't use that money to buy a house. So it's really important to understand that for those of you who are self-employed, or for those of you who work under the table, that's great, but if it's not filed on your taxes or your tax returns, or you don't have W-2s to show the income, unfortunately you're not going to be able to use the money that you pulled out of your mattress or you pulled out of whatever. So, checking accounts, savings accounts. Most people should have them. Do you think people should have one of each?
Yeah, I think it's really good to have a checking and a savings account. You can have it at a credit union or something else. It's really important to save a percentage of your income every month, but that's all part of that budget.
The good thing about having a separate checking account and a savings account, guys, is your checking account should be all the monies that are coming out for your daily regular bills. The savings account should be set aside for two things. Number one, it should be like rainy day fund, actually saving money. But number two, if you're trying to save and buy a house, if you put that into a separate account, you might not be as inclined to spend that money, or you may not be as inclined to say, I'll just use this and pay that. Hopefully you're going to put that money aside and almost forget that it's there until you go to buy a house. You're like, wow, I have all this money accumulated. 401k, IRA, and 403b.
A lot of people have jobs where you are offered this and you never signed up. Well, I want you, if you're watching this, the day after you're watching it to sign up. I don't care. It's the next day is too late. In other words, sign up immediately. It comes out of your salary and you don't even realize it's missing, and it's the best thing you can do.
And guys, I mean, for example, Neil has a 401k plan for us, a premium mortgage. It's money that the company is actually giving towards us. So we put money aside and the company will match a certain percentage back. So that's why I always find out if your company has a 401k or some sort of retirement plan and the company's willing to match you, it's just more money. And this money can be used to buy a house. Now, there are terms of withdrawal that state how much you can use, but at least it's still money. And if you need reserves, you may not have to pull the money out. You just have to be able to show that the money exists.
Right.
So that's another huge thing to look at and consider. Deferred comp. Explain deferred comp.
If you work for the city of Philadelphia in any capacity, they have a thing called deferred comp where they put a certain amount of money away. You can use that to buy a house. We've done this a million times. And if you haven't signed up, again, sign up immediately. A fireman, policeman, trash man, whatever you do for the city of Philadelphia, they have an amazing program.
The last thing we want to talk about, we'll talk briefly about it, is gifts, grants, and tax refunds. Now, tax refunds, people will say, well, can I use my tax refund?
Yeah.
Yes. That is money that is your money, and that can be deposited whenever you file it. Just like that, you can use it.
Don't go buying a car with that money. Seriously, please don't go buying a car with that money. I say it every year.
Neil always says, if you want to buy a car, buy the house first, and as soon as you settle, we'll drive you to the car dealership.
I'll drive you to the car dealer after
first.
settlement. And then you can drive the car to your new house.
Now, gifts. Explain what a gift could be.
Any relative, brother, father, mother, sister, can give you a gift. They can give you a gift of your down payment. Technically, they can give you all of it. We just need a 30-day bank statement showing they had the ability to give it. In other words, if you had that mattress money and gave it to them and they deposit, then give it to you, ain't gonna work. We need a bank statement for the last 30 days showing that they have that money and show it coming out of their account, going into your account.
Now, we do realize that there are people that have safes at home. We do realize that people do keep money under their mattress or even in a shoebox under their bed. It is okay to use that money. It just has to be seasoned. If it is somebody else's money, like let's say your brother or if your dad or a rich relative, that money has to be in their account for 30 days. It's really important that no matter what, before you have them cut you a check or move those funds, talk to us first. Because if people start moving funds, your timeline may have to start all over because they may say, well, wait a minute, where'd that money come from? How did it get deposited? How did it come from here to there? Talk to us before you make any decisions with regards to moving funds or monies, especially when it comes to...
We have to verify where it came from.
Yes.
We have to.
If
Otherwise, we have to back it out and we can't use it.
Right. If it's your own money, it has to be seasoned for 60 days, not 30 days. So let's say you have the safe. Let's say the money is your money and you want to use it for yourself. You don't have a brother or somebody else that you trust to give it to so that they can gift it back to you. It has to be seasoned for 60 days. So please keep that in mind. If you have money in a mattress or under your mattress or under your bed, whatever, please put that money into an account now. Okay? That's the gift. Grants. Explain some of the grants that might be available sometimes.
Right now, there's a grant for $10,000 for the City of Philadelphia residents. I don't know how long that's going to last. It's a great grant. The problem is you can't sell the house. You can't refi the house for 15 years.
Right. There are some other grants like First Front Door. Delaware County has a grant. I think there's even some in New Jersey.
Chester has a grant. Montgomery County has a grant. Bucks County has a grant. There's
all
different grants.
Do a little due diligence, guys. Just Google. Use Google as your friend. Just Google Bucks County, first-time home buyer grant, or Delaware County, or whatever it is. Just Google grants where you live and see what's available.
Upper Darby has one too.
Yeah. Okay. So that pretty much covers the assets, guys. It's really important for you to understand. The most important, like we talked about in the first videos, is about being disciplined, setting that budget, and making sure you're staying on top of your finances, cutting back everywhere you can, and start putting as much into that savings account as possible. All right? Hope you guys found that information really helpful. We'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.